Thank you for joining the Reverend Dr. Sean Michael Greener, radio host, national pastor, author, and speaker for Sundays with Dr. Sean. Hold on tight. Here comes the truth.
I better start with something to drink. This right here is dandelion tea. Yeah, dandelions. Like what grows in the yard and whatnot. Dandelions. Those things. Don't cut those things down. They are weeds, but they're good for stuff. Like, for instance, if you want your flowers to grow really well, you don't want to poison them because guess what? The bumblebees and the whatnots that pollen, they love those dandelions. And that helps them. Good morning, all y'all. Let me wait a second here. I'm hydrate. Should have pre-hydrated. I did not pre-hydrate. This is on Spreaker too, by the way. When you go to Spreaker, that's the one without my face. If you prefer that. If you go to Spreaker, click on subscribe. Look into the Ninja Pastor or the Collision of Faith and Politics or Sundays with Dr. Sean or just Sean Michael Greener, S-H-A-W-N. Michael Greener, G-R-E-E-N-E-R. If you go there, you'll find my thing. I have a free app for Android or iPhone. Totally free, doesn't cost you a thing. Anywho, so we had another shooting. By the way, text your friends and stuff, get them to listen, because this is going to be good information. It's free of charge, at no cost or obligation to you. You do not get a free set of Ginsu knives, but you do get a lot of good information, and it's free. And it's solid. It's well-researched information. I would never lead you astray. Now, let's look back on what has happened in the past, 24 to 36 hours. Well, we've had a bunch of riots. Now we've got a whole section of Seattle that is walled off. Isn't that ironic? And the people inside, including the captors, are asking for food, water, and cigarettes. Yeah, it's a bad situation. They do not have... Oh, by the way, sorry, I didn't hook up my microphone, so I hope the sound is not too bad. I just wanted to hurry up and do this. I got Sunday school. I don't want to miss Sunday school. I don't be late for it. Anyway, and then we got church. I won't be late for that. We're back meeting together. Anyway, I was going to tell you a story about a bike shop and my son yesterday. It pissed me off. Boy, I'm telling you, I'm mad about this. I'm going to tell you. This has nothing to do with how black men can, and women, really, people, can avoid, how we can just get rid of the whole interaction with police thing. I think this is good information. So yesterday, my son and I had this great meal at this place. I'm not going to name them because my views are a little bit controversial for some. And I don't want to name the place, but it was awesome. I'd love to name the place. If I knew they thought the way I did, that'd be great. But I don't want to bring any harm to them if they don't. Even if they did. Fantastic sandwiches. Ooh, yeah. Wilmington, North Carolina. They're so good. So we were hanging out, pouring rain. And then we went to this bike shop because he's looking for a bike and this special certain bike. And we found this bike shop that happened to have that brand. We didn't know if they had that exact kind. We drive up there. They have big tents outside. It's pouring. Again, pouring. It's not even 70 degrees. And basically, you have to wear a mask, even to stand outside. You have to stay 6 feet apart wearing a mask outside. And then you don't ever get called on to go in the store. No. They come out and talk to you 6 feet away. And then they ask you what you're looking for, what you think you're looking for, what you might like. And then they go in and they try to figure out, is this it? And then they bring that thing outside. And then under that little tiny tent, they just kind of go around and around and around and around with it. And maybe you want to ride your potential bike around and around in a little tiny tent. Maybe. We'll clear a path. And then that's how it worked. But we didn't stay. I said, no, I'm not playing this silly game. It's a silly game. We all know the numbers in North Carolina are being inflated by the governor because the governor wants to prove his point. He just wants to cause problems for President Trump. We know that. Governor Cooper, we need to vote you out, your silly self. Just so silly. Let's just go. I'd like for you to leave today. It's just a horrible governor. Anyway, it cost us $220 million. That's all right. It's no big deal. We don't need the money after COVID-19, Chinese COVID-19 crap. So anyway, we left. We just said we're done with it. I'm not going to play that silly game. That's playing along is what's brought a lot of this problem. And, well, I guess that kind of does have a little something to do with how, black folks, I have figured out how we can help the interactions with police to no longer be violent. So, just so we're clear, let's start with something, because I know Media Matters likes to chop up my videos and then put them different places, little bits and pieces of it, and say I said, and they move stuff around, because that's what they do. Oh, and by the way, so does CBS, NBC, CNN, MSNBC, all of them. They all do it. I know this because I used to protect very prominent people, and I'd be, 4 feet away during the entire interview, and then when the interview airs, it's all chopped up. And little bits and pieces are louder or quieter or, they're just all in different spaces. And you know what? It's not even what the person said. And I know that because I was there, because I was protecting them. And I stay close by when I'm protecting people. Anywho, so now we have got a bunch of people like Ahmaud Arbery. I get it. That wasn't a police interaction. That was just two dumb white people interaction. They could have been purple, they could have been red, they could have been yellow. I don't care what color they are. They were dumb. They chased the guy down who happened to be walking through a house that was under construction in their neighborhood. There had been some thefts from there, and he was walking through, and, well, then he went back to his run. He wasn't carrying anything. He had a T-shirt and shorts and running shoes on. And he liked to run. He was trying to, kind of get things together, get his head together. And I happen to have a house under construction right next to me. And boy, if I chased everybody down and asked them, hey, what are you doing in our house? Oh, it's not our house, but the house next door. What are you doing in our neighborhood? White, black, yellow, otherwise. I would not make friends. That is a quick way to not make friends. You're not going to make many friends that way. But I also get it. A lot of stuff is disappearing from the house under construction. And when the rats come to the neighborhood and they steal stuff, white, black, yellow, purple, don't matter what color they are, when they steal stuff, eventually they start looking around the neighborhood and say, that guy's garage door's open. He has nice stuff in there. And they don't notice that I will shoot you if you come in my house. I will shoot you signs. They don't notice those because they're not looking for that. They're looking for stuff to steal, convert to drugs, sell and fence, do whatever they do with it. Anywho, so you do have to pay attention. So I take pictures of people's tags if they're driving. If they pull up and they go in there and they don't look like they belong, just maybe take a quick picture of them. They don't know it. Got cameras everywhere. It's a little bit like a fortress. And take a little picture. And then if something big ends up happening, I say, hey, well, how about this? How about this, folks? How about this fella right here? How about this family right here? Otherwise, I don't care. Because you know what? People walk through houses. They walk through houses that are under construction to get ideas. Ooh, and people from the neighborhood walk through the house because they're like, somebody gonna live here. And they go, look at those counters. I didn't get those counters. Ooh, look at that 20-foot ceiling. I do not have 20-foot ceilings. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying. They're not looking to steal anything. Anyway, Ahmaud Arbery walked through a house. I don't know what was on his mind. Don't know, but I'd know a kitchen sink wasn't under his arm. And then he went back to running. And then these folks chased him. And they shot him. And they killed him. And they never should have. They should go to jail for the rest of their life. The uninvolved person that was shooting in the video of it, why'd you lock him up? Because people are mad? You don't want people to riot? Like, why don't people want to know? I'd like to know. Why'd you lock that guy up? What's your thinking there? Attorney? District attorney. I'm just spitballing here. I'm just thinking, why lock that guy up? Because he is white. And he is the only way that we knew about this crime, the way it went down, the way that we had exactness. Oh, anyway, so let's get back to this, because I got stuff to do, and so do you. It's Sunday. Got church, got Sunday school, great Sunday school class, got a great teacher, got great people in the class. I like to enjoy learning about God. I love the Bible and love people of faith. That's just how it is. White, black, yellow, purple. Doesn't matter to me. I don't think it should matter to you. In fact, I'm going to be honest with you. Most people I know, it doesn't matter to them. Anyway, let's get back to this. So that Ahmaud Arbery, and maybe there's some others where folks weren't doing anything. They're just living life. And they get shot or they get killed. Now, Ahmaud Arbery wasn't killed by police. He was killed by two dumb white men. Or purple or yellow or red. Doesn't matter to me what color they were. Just like I said, doesn't matter. Color doesn't make a difference. So this thing happens with George Floyd, the haver of 5 funerals and memorial services. The haver of, I'm told, $38,000 casket. Interesting, since he had some issues with paying support and things like that. But okay, I'm assuming that somebody else paid for it. Now, why would somebody want to make a big, giant, multi-state spectacle of a funeral and a memorial service for somebody? I don't know. Inquiring minds would like to know. Now, see other weak-minded white folk and black folk and half black, half white folk. They would say that, well, you're dumb and you're a racist. You're so dumb you don't realize how racist you are because you got that institutional racism thing going on. And I say, really? Never had that before. Must have been something come on lately. I'm not racist. Everybody that knows me knows I'm not. I mean, completely not. Doesn't have anything to do with race, and we don't know that the evil, murdering person who put his neck on George Floyd for almost 9 minutes, we don't know that that was racially motivated. What we do know is that he was white. He has the misfortune of being white. But you know what? Here's a little something for you. It wouldn't have mattered if he was white or Asian or, I don't know, black. Because riots still happen even when black police officers kill black people. It's just a problem. Apparently, and this is what leads me to today, apparently any interaction, or most, or some, or just a few, maybe just the ones they write about, of interactions between police officers and black people could easily result in death for somebody. And more importantly, just as importantly, rioting and stealing and burning of stuff from Antifa and other terrorist organizations, claiming to care about black people, but they don't, because they don't. They are just using you as useful idiots. I'm not saying black people are idiots. Smarten up. Don't be afraid to use a word. It's idiot. They're making you a useful idiot. That is a term that if you stay in school, you will learn that term. Maybe. When people manipulate you and use you for another meaning, you become the useful idiot. So you rah, and throw stuff, throw bricks, throw all that stuff. You're mad and everything. And maybe you have a right to be, maybe you don't. But they use you to advance their cause. Like, I don't know, for instance, Black Lives Matter. When you donate to Black Lives Matter, and it's been hundreds and hundreds of millions, when you donate to Black Lives Matter, actually, your money goes to Act Blue. Act Blue is a militant Democrat organization which funnels money to political candidates. Yes, it does. So when you send money to Black Lives Matter, even though if you read their own manifesto, I don't think you'd want to. But okay, if you want to send money to people who don't believe the way you do and do horrible things, but pretend to, and plus, it's a catchy name, Black Lives Matter, so you want to send your hard-earned money to them, I don't know how much, whatever. Send what you want. Just know that it doesn't go really to them. It goes to one of the organizations behind them, which is Act Blue, which is an activist money laundering institution which gives money outside the legal bounds to Democrat organizations and political candidates. I'm just saying it's important to have the truth. Anywho, so here's 8 reasons that led up to this guy in Atlanta. Because, you know, past several hours, we had another black person shot by police. Okay. 8 reasons that led up to Brooks being shot dead. Well, number 1, he was driving while intoxicated under the influence of drugs and alcohol. Last time I checked, I think that was illegal. I think it's illegal. In fact, I know it's illegal. There's laws on the books. Says no. He was so intoxicated, he drove up to a Wendy's. Yes, where they have those new breakfasts that I really want. I don't know the rest of the song, but I know I want the breakfast, Wendy's. But I haven't gotten to get it yet. I want it, and I don't have it, and I want it. So anyway, what ends up happening is he drives to the drive-up window. And he falls asleep. Yeah, falls asleep. He was so intoxicated driving a motor vehicle where your kids and your friends and your family, maybe your family dog. I'm not saying your dog drives, I'm saying your dog be in the car. So, and then, what if he kills them? It's apparently not that big of a deal. When a black person kills a white person, or a white person's thing, because it happens all the time. Every day. All day, every day. Yeah, happens all the time. If you look at national crime statistics, you see that black on white crime is well more than many times double what it is white on black crime. And you see black on black crime is, well, the majority of the ways that people that are black skin die by other people with black skin. Just saying. What if the person was white driving a car? Let's say it was a white lady driving a car through a black neighborhood, predominantly black neighborhood, and maybe she was a little tipsy from lunch, had a glass of wine, and a black child ran out in front of a car or in between cars to chase a ball, or riding a bike and darts in front of a car that's traveling legally. I'd say maybe the white person's not even had a drink of wine. Maybe they just had ginger ale at lunch, which is legal. I don't know if you know that. Drives down the road and accidentally hits this child. Well, this person of white color is in a black neighborhood. And I don't know if you know, but folks riot. Apparently in black neighborhoods. It's not just black people that riot, by the way. Look at the video and you'll notice Antifa is mostly white. College kids, a little older than college kids. They don't want to leave mama's basement or mama's room. Mama still makes dinners and folds her underwears and irons the sheets and whatnot. It's a pretty good gig you got. And they got an allowance and everything too. And they're warriors because they're anarchists. And so they'll riot too. But in neighborhoods, and I've seen this happen. This is why I'm not just kind of making this up. This has happened. Sometimes the people that hit the child run. There are a lot of people around. It's not like the child's going to lay there to die by themselves or whatever. They're not dragging them, whatever. They run. Why do they run? Because they're afraid of being beaten and dragged out of their car for doing nothing wrong but driving down the street, weren't speeding. Kid ran out in front of the car, got hit. If it was a white kid, wouldn't matter, nobody'd riot. But if it's a black kid, white driver, well, they get beat up. Sometimes they get killed. Yes, that has actually happened. So anyway, so he was intoxicated. Now we know on multiple substances. That seems to be a common denominator. I don't know if you know. He failed a sobriety test. Police officers didn't just come up and shoot him. Oh, you drinker, you fall asleep, or you... Well, they didn't do that. You're holding up the line at Wendy's. Dadgummit, I want a double. And a Frosty. And fries. And a Baconator. I don't want all that at one time. I'm just saying these are people in line. Maybe I do. I'm hungry. So, he ends up at the drive-up window. He's asleep. People notice when you're asleep in a drive-up window of a restaurant. Especially Wendy's. And they get him out of the car gently. And then they administer a field sobriety test to determine, is he intoxicated? And he fails. Well, they say, you're under arrest for driving under intoxication. We're going to have to take you to the station. That's how it goes. We've got to book you and fingerprint you and stuff like that. So come on with us. Well, he resisted arrest as they were trying to cuff him. It's multiple officers because they didn't want, one officer. They wanted multiple. So he wrestles with two officers, because apparently one of the intoxicants he's on makes you strong as an ox. Wrestles with two of the officers, flips each of them over on their backs. They didn't want to shoot them. They didn't want to grab their guns. They didn't want to grab the taser. They didn't want to do any of that. They just want to go home. They want to make it home from their shift. They want to get a drunk guy off the road. They want to get a guy who's intoxicated on illegal drugs off the road. And so he wanted to fight with him because he's black, and that's his prerogative, I guess. I guess you're allowed to fight with cops if you're black. I guess you're allowed to say, no, I'm not going. Yes, I have committed this crime, but I'm not going peaceably. You're going to have to fight me and potentially, possibly, maybe kill me. Okay. All right. Problem number 2, or perhaps 3, fails the sobriety test, and as they're trying to arrest him peaceably, he fights them. He's such an excellent fighter, and he's such a big, tough, strong person, that he gets 2 police officers on the ground, pinned on their backs. Yeah, it's on film. I don't know if you know, but they have cameras and stuff. Now, you may have seen the other parts of the situation where it shows him being shot. But you didn't see what happened before that. And isn't that interesting that the news people that claim to want peace constantly show you things that don't bring about peace? They kind of twist things up a little bit, and they make things a lie. Because that's what you do when you change it around, is you make it from the truth, as reported by a video camera, to a lie. Why do they do that? They do it to stir stuff up, because riots for them sell. Because they're idiots. And we're idiots for watching them. We should probably tune them out. We should probably turn them off. We should probably cancel them. Anywho, so he wrestled with the 2 officers. He flips them on their backs. Pins one, and then the other on the ground. One right after the other. Yeah. Now, I do want to bring out, I am a nationally certified police trainer, and I am just going to tell you that police training does not involve putting your knee on anybody's neck, just so you know. Clearing that up. Just so you know, nobody teaches that. But it also, nowadays, police officers come to the job with 4-year degrees and more. And they, well, I hate to tell you, some of them are kind of tiny. Some of them never had a fight in their life, never thrown hands their whole entire life. Some of them have been academics and social justice warriors, and they come to the job and they say, well, I'd like to be a police officer. I want to wear a uniform and serve my city and my state and my community, blah, blah, blah. And that's great. But guess what? They're not trained to deal with it when the bad guys say, I'm not going. You're not arresting me. I'm not going to jail. How about we throw hands? Because I do it every day. I get in a fight every day. I fight all the time. I fight. I'm not fighting police every day all the time. I'm fighting my people, my neighbors, People live in my house. I fight. Got a lot of fighting experience. Man, when I was in jail a few times, I fought too. Every day, all day. But let's not teach police officers how to fight. Let's not teach police officers how to grapple. Let's not teach them how to survive deadly situations. Oh, I don't know, because they're in them all the time. But why should we teach them that? Let's give them defensive weapons, right? Like tasers and pepper spray. Oh, that's racist. Pepper spray, tasers. Don't tase me, bro. Anyway, let's give them those, and let's say, listen, there are certain circumstances where you can use these. They're a very small number of circumstances, but you have to do a bunch of other stuff first. You got to use de-escalation, you can do the talking, whatnot, well, what have you. And then you can use them. But by that time, Houston, we have a problem. In this case, Atlanta, we have a problem. Chicago, we have a problem. Minneapolis, we have a problem. All across the country, New York City, we have a problem. Once it gets that far, and once you start throwing hands, you're out of your league, bruh. Because you just came from college. You just came from book learning. And not that I'm against book learning. I have a lot of it. I don't know if you know. Google me. Anyway, book learning and talking doesn't stop a violent criminal who decided that it would be appropriate for him to drink and do drugs and drive, such that he falls asleep in a McDonald's parking lot, wakes up, fights and beats 2 officers, gets them on the ground, pins them both. Anyway, he doesn't just pin them. He grabs their taser. What? Grabs one of their guns. It's a taser gun, but it's a taser. Grabs the gun, punches the officer twice in the face, almost knocking the officer unconscious. I don't think you've heard this in the news. Anywho, then he started to run, but then he thought, you know what I'll do? I've got a police weapon. I'm just going to turn around and I'm going to point it at him. Well, why not? Win. What do I win? What do I get? Pop, pop. You get shot. That's what you get for fighting with officers, pinning them on their backs, 2 of them, driving while intoxicated, fighting police officers, just trying to save people's lives by getting you off the street. You fight them, and you're beating them. But I got news flash for you. It's not a ding-ding-ding contest. It's not a tap-out contest. It's in the streets. Where do you think that fella's going? Go see his mama, because he misses mama. Mama! I'm not mocking George Floyd. I'm mocking anybody that listens, white, black, otherwise indifferent. Anybody that listens to that and goes, he was just calling for his mama. That's all he wanted was his mama. Okay, well, I have a little problem with that. He could have. Now, his mama was dead. George Floyd's mama was dead, and he's about to die, and that was wrong. I'm going to tell you right now. Handcuffed, on the ground, multiple police officers, put him in the car. Oh, he won't go and sit up straight? Put him in the car head first. Roll his feet up. Zip tie his feet to his handcuffs. Just long enough to get him in the car. Close the door. Drive away from that neighborhood where it's real racially charged. I don't know if you know. And then clip the thing, or hurry up and get back to the precinct and get in there. Get back in there. Get it done. You know? Chain him to a wall. It's what we do in the holding cell. It's what we do. Because some people don't act right. Anyhow, white, black, or otherwise, I fought with black people, fought with white people. What you gonna do? So what happens is he turns and points the taser at the law enforcement officers. Now, I don't know the color and makeup of the law enforcement officers, but they did what they're supposed to do. They shot him. And they killed him. They didn't kill any innocent bystanders, by the way. They made sure that the backstop, what was behind them, what was their background was clear. And they fired. And he went to the ground. When he died at the hospital. Now, in all seriousness, now they're burning Atlanta too. Here's my solution. You ready? It's multifold, but it's easy and it's free. Well, maybe not free. Maybe as a little experiment, we could say, okay, don't fight with the police. Just don't fight with them. You caught doing something stupid? Maybe you made a mistake? Maybe you really are this good person that would give the shirt off back. He would help anybody. You know, Michael Brown was a robber, had just committed a robbery, strong arm robbery. It's 330 or 340 pounds. Committed a strong arm robbery against a guy that was 122 pounds. His 4th one that week, but okay. You're just grabbing a police officer's gun, and the police officer shot him, and now that police officer's life is ruined, and he's being heralded as a hero, and blah, blah, blah. I won't go through the long list of them. Maybe don't commit a crime. Maybe don't commit a crime. Let's start with that. Let's start with maybe don't commit a crime. I think if you don't commit a crime, you won't interact with police officers. Because the police officers don't want anything to do with fighting anybody. They don't want anything to do with shooting anybody. And oh my Lord Jesus, they don't want anything to do with fighting or shooting or harming a black person. Because it's utter hell. And it will ruin your life. And police agencies no longer support their officers. Now, Chauvin, he should go to jail for the rest of his life. Period. The chumps that didn't step in or throw a hip on him and go, get off the dude's neck, man. Mm-hmm. I'm 4 days into this job, but I know daggum sure you ain't supposed to put your knee on somebody's neck. We didn't learn that in the academy. I don't know, maybe somebody from the crowd could have gone, lay a hip on him and say, hey, get off that guy's neck. afraid of getting pepper sprayed. Well, okay, maybe black lives don't matter that much to you. Anyway, maybe don't interact with police. If you're so good, don't interact with police. Just don't do it. Step 1. Apparently that doesn't work. Because the common denominator is interactions with the police while committing a crime. There are a few cases where that's not the case. It's crazy. You know, people do crazy things. I don't know why. How about punish the racist and leave the rest of us alone? I'm just saying. If you prove it's a racist thing, they did an illegal thing, how about punish them, not us? Because, you know, we're not rioting when the vast majority of violent crime is black on black, but we're not rioting when the vast majority of crimes against white people are perpetrated by black people. I don't know. Be mad at me if you want. Be mad if you want. That's the numbers. That's the data. That's data. It's reality. Sorry. You don't like me? I don't care. Big deal. Call me names. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. And white people run around arguing how not racist they are, and they got the little Black Lives Matter block. Never mind who they give their money to. Actually, never mind what they stand for. Actually, and you don't have to search very hard. Just go to their website, read their manifesto. It's okay. Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you'd rather argue with all your friends who are saying, "Oh, wait a second, this isn't right. We can't let people burn buildings. We can't let people." Now, I'm not saying it's all black people doing it. It's Antifa too. It's this racist terrorist organization predominantly comprised of white kids and white adults and some white old people. Don't get me started on the 75-year-old that wanted to front with police, and then he gently gets pushed back. He blows it out of proportion, loses his footing, bumps his little head, has a little fake little blood thing, says he has a brain injury. It's a big lie because he's got no cut or brain injury. But whatever. Maybe we should arrest the police or the doctor. No, they're heroes. COVID-19 and whatnot. They're all heroes. So maybe we should pull his medical reports. Wait, they're protected by HIPAA, so we can't. So we can't say to the doctor, "Why'd you put down he has a brain injury when he has no physical injury to the back of his head? Not even a cut." Why didn't they pat the guy down before putting him in the ambulance and check? Because there's video of him wearing a tube and a blood pack. I'm just saying. Oh, no, that would be crazy. Well, not so crazy since that's what this guy does. Anyway, back to this. Here's my other suggestion, since the don't interact with police suggestion doesn't seem to work. Because you see, you got to kind of do it. You can't still interact with police and then want to fight with them and not interact with police. See, that defeats it. It's self-defeating. What you got to do is you got to not interact with police. But if you're unwilling to do that, if you're unwilling to not commit crimes against people, white, black, yellow, or others, because about 88% of police calls from black neighborhoods come from, say it with me, sing it if you can, black people who live in the neighborhood. Black people that live in the neighborhood. Call the police. Why, I thought it was F the police. Apparently not when they're breaking into your house. Apparently not when they're doing shootings in front of your house. Apparently not when they're stealing your car. Apparently not when they're selling drugs on your corner. Well, it's not very Christian, Mr. Pastor. Well, this doesn't have anything to do with Christian, or maybe it does, because the Bible tells us do what you're supposed to do. Okay? Oh, well, by the way, I heard Chris Cuomo said, "You show me where it's written that protests have to be peaceably." Well, the right to peaceably assemble in the Constitution, and what's what they wrote? It's pretty simple. Right to peaceably, they wrote it real big. Assemble. If you're listening to them, you're listening to idiots. Anywho, here it is. This is free. This is free for you. Oh, maybe not free. Maybe police, maybe dispatchers. We've got some great dispatchers and 911 people now retired, worked a long, successful career in a 911 center. Helping cops, helping people. Helping cops help people. Maybe we just ask the people, are you black? Is the person with the problem black? You see, Because the police, when they went to the Wendy's, they weren't going to get food. They got called there. Somebody said, hey, this ain't right. Let's call the police. Apparently the police are necessary. Now, maybe the 911 call taker should say, I'm not going to guess if you're white or black, far be it for me to suppose, or whatever you want to be called, but if you're black skinned or dark skinned or brown skinned, or you've ever been involved with an Antifa, listen, we can't come. Oh, wait a second. The person that's doing this is black? Well, we can't come. We can't come. Sorry. You're going to have to solve that yourself. Whoa, wait, what? I have to solve it myself. That's not really how it goes, by the way, the phone. People, this is more accurate. But international symbol for phone. Anyway, the emoji does. Nobody has had a ringer phone for like 30 years. But anyway, I digress. You're telling me, I'm playing the part of the person calling, by the way. I don't know if you picked up on that. You're telling me you're not coming. I thought when we call 911, you come. Well, I'm playing the part of the 911 dispatcher now. Well, you see, there's this little thing called riots and burning and looting and stealing and robbing and murdering that happens every time, apparently, a black person gets arrested by a white, black, yellow, purple, whatever color police officer. Anytime they get arrested by police officers, apparently now the thing to do is riot. So what we thought we would do is no longer interact. We feel that maybe that might help us not have riots and have our stuff stolen and have stores looted and ruined and people's lives changed and people murdered. Innocent people murdered. We thought that might be a good way. So we're not going any longer. We're not going any longer. If it's involving a person of color, we're not going any longer. We're just not going. How can you... Sorry. I'm not professionally trained. How can you not go? How can you not come here? This person is beating up somebody. This person is asleep in the drive-thru. This person is raping somebody. This person is robbing a house. I'm watching them go through that. This person is beating up this innocent person. This person, blah, 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 blah. This person is selling drugs in front of me. How can you not come? This person just passed a fake $20 bill. How can you not come? What do you mean? Because they're black. Well, you see, back to the 911 operator. And I've never been one, so I don't know if this is terribly accurate. I don't know how they'll go. I think they have a little loop thing. Sorry, sir, ma'am, or whatever. Nowadays, we can't send a police officer there because every time we do, Lord forbid this goes bad. Like the person fights the police, doesn't want to do what the police say, doesn't want to go with the police. They get handcuffed. They try to handcuff them, and then they fight them, and then the police aren't allowed to really do anything during the fight. They're not really trained to do anything during the fight. So then it goes bad, and then there's a shooting potentially, or somebody gets choked out, or whatever. Even if it's right, there's going to be riots and stuff, and well, we're just not doing it. We're trying to stop all that. So you're telling me you're not coming? Oh. So you're telling me you're not coming? Yes, ma'am, sir. It. He, they. They, them. No, we're not coming. You're going to have to solve this one yourself, America. You're going to have to solve this one yourself. You're going to have to solve this problem yourself. Because police can't solve it. It's unsolvable by police. Police no longer can solve your problem. We can't fix your problem, America. Because apparently when we come, we gonna riot now. Because you're not gonna do what we said for you to do. Just put your hands on the car. Just put one hand behind the back. Put the other hand behind the back. You're very drunk. You're very high on apparently drugs that make you strong as Superman. You know they exist. And you know what? I'm tired of stuff getting burnt, aren't you? America. Doesn't make you a racist, by the way, for you to say this whole big thing. Oh, as soon as like I say Black Lives Matter, and then you say all lives matter, that shows what a racist you are. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's the opposite of it. Because you're highlighting a race and making up stuff about police running around just killing them all. Well, look what just happened in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 7 weeks. Okay, all right. I'll play your little game. Let's go to how many white people have been killed by black people in the same time frame. It's about 10 to 12 times. Let's look at police officers killed by black people. Let's look at all the numbers of crime. I'm not saying all black people are criminals. So if you want to flip that and make it that, then you're a racist and you're stupid. You're a stupid racist. There's nothing worse than being stupid than being a stupid racist. All right, an ugly, smelly, stupid racist. That's the only thing worse. And you're a liar. And the race peddlers and the race baiters, the Sharptons, the Jesse Jacksons, the bunch of others, and every single Democrat politician running around because they get money from Act Blue. Smarten up. The money goes through, it gets funneled through BLM, Black Lives Matter, goes directly to Act Blue. That's who processes the payments. They take their cut. They get hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars without ever having to subscribe to the laws regarding campaign finance. And now the Atlanta mayor is calling for the firing of the police officer who shot the guy, who was pointing a weapon that he had beaten off of two other officers to get. So that's what I propose. There's one other thing. I propose, and I'm serious about this. I'm not kidding around. Here's the thing. The other thing I propose, what have I proposed so far? Don't interact with the police. Don't get into trouble. Don't do wrong things. Don't take dangerous drugs that make you a crazy person. Don't pass fake money. Don't fight cops. Don't beat your girlfriend. Don't beat your boyfriend. Don't steal. Don't rob. Don't drive when you're not supposed to drive. Don't violate the laws. Then front with cops and want to fight with them. I don't know. Apparently that doesn't work because that depends on them. So this one depends on us. We're just not going to go. You call 911, we're just not going to go. And you know what that's going to hurt? That's going to hurt nice black people. That's going to hurt nice black people. Nice black people that they don't want people doing drugs in front of their house. They don't want people roughing people up or beating people up or shooting people in front of their house. They don't want gang violence in front of their house. That's going to hurt them because when the cops don't come, guess what? And if a black person drives up to a Wendy's high on all kinds of crazy drugs and alcohol and they fall asleep, well, just let them sleep. Somebody just try to reach in, preferably a black person, try to reach in, turn the keys off and take it out of drive because he fell asleep and drive. With his foot on the brake, passed out, fell asleep, whatever he did. And apparently that doesn't work. We can't rely on them to not do that. So my suggestion is, just don't go anymore. Just ask the person, what color is the person that you have a problem with? What color is that person? Okay, we're not coming. We're not coming. We're not going. We're not responding. We're sorry. We're not going to do that. Well, that's racist. Is it? Is it? Because it seems like every time we do, stuff goes crazy. People riot. You know, two innocent white people, grandma and grandpa, great-grandma and great-grandpa, were visiting their son in a Delaware veterans cemetery, and a black man who they did not know had a rifle, illegally, and set up some feet away, and he shot them dead for no reason. Not one riot. Not one riot. I have countless examples. Countless. I don't know what you think about my suggestion to stop all this. The first one didn't work. Doesn't work. For all of time, it hasn't worked. Don't interact with the police. Don't steal stuff. Don't rob stuff. Don't beat people up. Don't beat your girlfriend. Don't point a gun at you at a perfect stranger's pregnant belly. Threaten to kill. Don't do it to your girlfriend. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't commit violence. Don't do any of those things. And then we won't come. We won't mess with you because we don't want to. That doesn't work. When we leave it up to you, it doesn't work. So I'm saying, how about we take it in the hands and we just say, you know what? We're not coming. Yeah, we know that it sounds racist, but guess what? We're tired of stuff burning. We're tired of it. By the way, I have a solution for Antifa taking Seattle. Now it's 9 or 10 blocks or 13 blocks, I'm told, that they've just taken. Now to listen to a lot of the news, it's like a love fest up in there. Well, not really. There's still rape calls. There's still murder calls. There's been 2 people killed. Everything that they're using from the surrounding stores has been burglarized, stolen, or physically robbed from the people. But okay. If Seattle and the politicians in Seattle don't care anymore for the good law-abiding people, police officers just walk away. You know what? We could apply this to anywhere. Police officers all across the country. Just walk away. Just walk away from your job. Go learn a trade. There's a lot of free trade school training out there. Go learn a trade. Just go do it. Because there's too few of us that appreciate you. Too few that would stand with you and say no. No, we're standing behind this. Citizens, police yourselves. Self-government. Police yourselves. Because there's no reason for a police officer to take the job nowadays. None whatsoever. So there's my suggestions. I don't know how they work for you, but they work for me. They work for me. I'm daggone sure tired of hearing it. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of cities burning. And oh, by the way, don't you think the Democrat politicians are behind stoking all this? Don't you think the Democrat politicians are behind stirring all this up? Don't you think? I think it'll get better after the election, just provided Donald Trump doesn't win. Because if he wins, and that's who I'm voting for, there's going to be more of this. But guess what? If Joe Biden wins, there'll be more of this too. It'll just be the white people's fault again. And I'm tired of it. I'm absolutely tired of it. So there you have it. Share this with your friends if you want. To be honest with you, if you got a bunch of liberal friends on your page, or they pop onto your page and they fuss with you, just hit delete and block. You say, well, that's an echo chamber. They have nothing good to say. They have nothing good to say. They don't. And there's some dumb conservative and Republican people out there that are saying dumb stuff. They see something on the internet, they believe it, they don't double, triple check it, and they post it. And it's planted by some leftist organization to make us look stupid. Here's my encouragement for you today. Research a little bit before you post, before you forward. Looks real legit. They do it on purpose. Thanks for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. I do. Those are my suggestions. I know they're wild and crazy, but it seems like that's the only thing left to do.
Thank you for joining Dr. Sean today. Please follow Dr. Sean at www.drseangreener.com and on social media at facebook.com/smgreener, Twitter at The Ninja Pastor, and on Instagram at The Ninja Pastor. If you would like to support Dr. Sean's ministry and send Bibles around the world, don't forget to hit the donate page on drseangreener.com or go to paypal.me/Dr. Sean Greener to invest in spreading the Word of God to the world. And please download our free apps to listen to our Spreaker radio show. Thank you again for listening, and don't forget to share.